Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. The Winter Olympics actually started today. Today, Tony. What's your favorite memory of covering it?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, landing that exclusive with Sonia Henne right after she won gold back in 28.
Oh, that's, yeah, 28.
Yeah.
Not 2028, people. We're not there yet.
No, 1928.
1928.
Do you remember Sonia Henne at all? Do you have any sense of what she looked like or what she did?
Yes, because, in full disclosure, you and I have actually studied the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, you're
And
going
we
to cover
went.
them, you have to know.
And you got to know something about
She's a great skater. She won a billion medals.
You actually liked it
I did.
as much as
I loved it. I really did love it. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, James Harden is a Cav, Tom Brady plays it down the middle, and Steve Young joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with the Mavericks trading away the man they got for Luka Doncic. Dallas dealt 10-time All-Star Anthony Davis and 3 other players to the Wizards. For Chris Middleton, 3 other players, 2 first-rounders, and 3 seconds. Wilbon, how do you make sense of this deal?
Tony, at first blush, I first heard about it, I thought, oh, Anthony Davis is not going to play, Trae Young's not going to play. What is the point of this? But then, continued thought about it. Some things that really stand out to me that I think are favorable about this deal for the Wizards. First, they didn't have to give up any of their own first-round picks. Now, they got to give up one of Oklahoma City's, which is going to be 30th. Let's face it, they're going to finish first in the standings and then last in lottery, last in draft picking. And also, they didn't have to give up any of their young core of players represented most by Sarr, who they got high in the draft last year. I know you watch the team much more than I do, and you have a sense of how each one of these young guys, Koulibaly, how they come along. I know you do. And so I'm interested to hear you about this. So my thoughts are there's no risk.
Yeah.
Like even if Anthony Davis doesn't play much, and I hope he does, because I know Anthony Davis a little bit, I root for him, but when you keep your own people, your own young guys that you need to build, and you keep your draft picks, so you keep your future, I think with no risk, I like it.
I'm much more cynical about it than you are and have been for a couple of years about this particular team that has tried to lose
But even
now
this
for 3
move?
years. Well, let me get to this, because the first thing I want to say is we can now close the book on Nico Harrison.
Yeah.
Nico Harrison, it turns out this is what he traded Luka Doncic for so far. Chris Middleton, nice player, 34 years old, can barely move, and 29 games worth of Anthony Davis. Now they are accepting draft picks. They're in a complete rebuild. They traded away 25-year-old Luka Doncic, and they're now in a complete rebuild. That's why he should have been fired that night. The Wizards, on paper, wow, Anthony Davis and Trae Young look great on paper. The problem, as you well know, is one of them is always hurt, and now the other one is hurt. So we don't even know if they're ever going to play together. I don't know what the Wizards are doing. Are they? I thought they were going to build through the draft. Are they going to now try to win? They've been trying to lose for 3 years. To give you some context, last night they played at home. They were down at the half 72-45 at home. So, Sarr may be a very good player, but the rest of the people you're talking about are indistinguishable from one or another. They're from 6'4" to 6'7". They have one good night and one bad night.
So I'm of the perception that they are done tearing down.
I would
try to build a little bit. But Tony, I'm not expecting Anthony Davis and Trae Young to be leading the parade when they have one. But I think you have to have vets, responsible vets, dependable vets in practice, in locker room, on the road, on the bus.
They had Chris Middleton was one of their vets, and McCollum was one of them. And they got rid of both of them. So they got rid of both of them. Let's move to James Harden. Yesterday we talked about the possibility of him being traded. Today we are talking about Harden having been officially traded. Harden goes to Cleveland for point guard Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Seems this would happen pretty quick. Wilbon, what does this mean for each team involved and for Harden?
Well, for Harden, it's going to mean more money. It won't mean as much money as he wanted, which was $80 million over 2 years. I think that's done. And he wasn't going to get that. And the Clippers let him know, we're not doing that. And I don't blame them. So let's go to the Wizards. See? I'm fixated with the Wizards now. No, let's go to the Cavaliers. Tony, I think this actually helps them. They needed some size, and Harden is a larger guard at 6'5 plus and substantial, as you know, and has some heft and plays a lot of games and takes a lot of punishment, and he's done that over the years. And I think Harden is looking at this the way we look at it, to say, you know what? I ain't got all that much time left. Let me be somewhere where they can win, where there are bigs, including Mobley, who he can help make better. I like this, and it takes some pressure off of their star player who can go and get 45 points, just like Harden used to be able to do in a playoff game. I like this for Cleveland.
Okay. I'm going to talk about what I talked about yesterday for perspective. Here are the numbers of James Harden in the career regular season. 24 a game, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 43.8% from the field, 36% from three. Here are his career playoff numbers. 22.5 points, 6.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds, 42.5 from the field, and 34 from three. Across the board.
Yeah.
Across the board. And I love James Harden, but across the board. He's never won a ring and he's been in one final. If I'm Cleveland, I make this trade because I want to win now, this year. I want to put him in the backcourt with Donovan Mitchell and see if they can get 60 points every single game. They got to the finals of the conference last year, were beaten by Indiana, and they were the favorites. They had a real good team last year. So I want Harden to take me over the top, and I wish it to him. But I think to myself, his playoff numbers are not what you want them to be.
So if James Harden was ever going to have a sense of urgency about that,
this year,
that's and playing with Donovan Mitchell is not a small thing. And I think, what's only a little less can be better. Not that you want every number dropping, but I think that James does a little less. Look, James Harden can go out there in playoff games and get you double-digit assists, which on that team can matter.
So neither of us has talked about the other team, the Clippers.
Who were the hottest team like a minute ago.
I'm going to tell you this about the Clippers. He's a good guard. Garland's a good guard. He's 10 years younger.
He is.
It doesn't matter. They are a perpetually disappointing team.
They really are.
They have names all the time, and they never win. And I am wondering if down the road we're going to see Kawhi Leonard suspended for that alleged no-show job situation. I'm wondering.
I'm just going to jump in right there and say no.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's getting suspended, but it's a worthy question.
Yeah.
And now to Tom Brady's rooting interests in this year's Super Bowl. Says he ain't got one. The man who won 6 with the Patriots and whose image is forged into a 17-foot-tall statue outside Gillette Stadium tells Jim Gray, quote, "I don't have a dog in the fight in this one. May the best team win," close quote. What do you make of that?
I make of this that as a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, he is about to hire Clint Kubiak as his head coach. And today, Clint Kubiak is the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, I think Tom Brady is rooting for the Patriots inside, but he's not hiring Vrabel.
No.
He's hiring Kubiak. So I don't think he wants to say anything that could get under Kubiak's skin at all.
Yeah.
I think there's another part to this too. The last 10 days have been very tough for the Patriots in terms of the Hall of Fame. They've seen Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft bounce. There is an obvious anti-Patriot bias that is showing itself here because of things like Deflategate and Spygate and the way they won all the time. And I don't think Tom Brady wants to fan the flames of that by coming out strongly for the Patriots.
You see, I didn't think of any of those things.
Really?
I think you've been watching too much conspiracy television. But
I have that channel.
I stream it. Tom Brady, to me, he doesn't seem like a man driven by sentiment. And he doesn't have a dog in this one because he ain't wearing the jersey.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he looks at it with great interest, but I just think that, okay, it was fine. I was there once.
You don't think for old time's sake he roots for the Patriots?
Well, maybe a little, but Tony, remember when Brady was allegedly making a living in New England and playing for the Patriots, he'd pop up and we see these pictures of him. All his off time was in California. Professional athletes aren't necessarily like the people who root for their teams. They're doing this, they're paid, they're mercenary.
Do you think?
And I think Tom Brady falls closer into that.
Do you think it's possible? Because Tom Brady, he has to acknowledge that his relationship with the Raiders has caused a lot of people to think in their hearts that he has got a conflict of interest as a broadcaster. And there have been rules against
say it out loud.
Right, yeah. And there have been rules against where he can be physically and where he can't be. Do you think that part of this is just an easier lane to drive? Let me stay away from the Patriots. Let me stay away from that.
That seems so calculating.
Yeah.
And I don't want to suggest that Brady isn't calculating, but you know what else Tom Brady can do? Like other GOATs, like Michael Jeffrey Jordan, like Wayne Gretzky, if he chooses to. He doesn't have to care. Right?
Let's take a break. Coming up, how can the Patriots put Drake May in a position to succeed? On Sunday, we're going to ask Steve Young.
And we'll ask him which way he's leaning.
I love those helmets.
I do too.
I love those helmets.
Classic. We don't like newfangled uniforms in anything.
We don't like anything new because we're old. Sources close to the NFL have informed PTI that it's Super Bowl week.
No.
Which makes it a perfect time for a visit from our great friend and the man who helped me lead the Niners to victory in Super Bowl 29, Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young. Steve, let's start with this. Sam Darnold made a Super Bowl when he was backing up Brock Purdy, and he's now in it as a starter with Seattle. You made 2 Super Bowls as a backup before starting. What did you learn as a backup that helped you as a starter?
A ton. You seeing it is vital. All of it, right? The hoopla, the unique, getting tickets for your family, making sure everybody has the travel stuff, the long elongated week, the media. You watch it, and then if you're a good backup, you're preparing to play. You're ready to go. You're emotionally, physically, mentally ready to go play. So you've done the work. You've prepared to play in the Super Bowl, and then you got out and maybe you didn't play, but you've seen it, and so that's a huge add. And then you see someone play great. You're like, oh no, that's how it's supposed to look. And I'm telling you, when you can sit home and like Drake May can visualize all he wants. He has not seen it, but Sam has seen it, and it makes a huge difference.
So interesting and good transition to Drake May, Steve, because he's in this game in his 2nd season. And there's so many things now that we are aware of that are necessary to be in place for a quarterback to be successful. Is Drake May already set up for that, or do the Patriots have a longer way to go?
No, it feels like, this is not the old Patriots. This is not the hoodie mumbles, robot kind of, this is, and look, they were great. No one's going to say anything bad about it. That's how they did it. This is a more wide open, fun loving, group. And so they're going to do it differently. And Drake is that guy. He's the guy that's the cheerleader of the team. And so they're young. They don't know yet, Michael, right? This is all happening. Like, really? Now? It seems early. And I think that's in their favor right now. They haven't had to deal with, if they get beat, they have to deal with a Super Bowl loss and how that drama and if they win, obviously they're on their way. But this is for Drake. They're in a perfect spot to go shock the world. I don't think anyone had them on their card in preseason. That's for sure. And they've built their way here. And I think it's real. I think Drake is the guy that I think the key is don't get him out of the game plan. Young players in the Super Bowl, you don't want to give up a big special teams touchdown, get down by 10 or 14 and get out of your game plan. You want a young quarterback to be able to stay in what we've talked about for a couple of weeks, and that'll be key.
Given what you know about both these teams, having seen them, which way are you leaning?
Well, you love the juggernaut that the Patriots are from nowhere, and I love that. Not from nowhere, but that's really kind of been a fun surprise. The Seahawks have been playing playoff football since January 4th when they played the 49ers for the right to have a week off. And watching them in person, it was a revelation. I watched them all year, but in person, they are all of that. That defense they're number one for a reason. And when number one defenses show up at the Super Bowl, it's a thing. And that thing is real. So I would, if I had a choice, I'd run over the Seahawks with that defense. And then Jackson Smith-Njigba is the most unique, fascinating, amazing player to watch move his body. You just can't imagine, it's like Bershuk, I don't know what it is. It's like a ballet kind of feel. It's like body, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it is indescribable, but he is all of that. You can throw the ball to that guy and then have those 2 runners and a good line. Look, you get 2 Super Bowl teams. Like, which one do you want? That's a stupid bar fight, right? It's a question, but no, it's a great question, Michael. It's a great question. But I think I would run to the Seahawks because I think they're all of that right now.
Well, there's something I got to follow up on. As a person who threw the ball to Jerry freaking Rice, you see in Jackson, you see him in some sort of way that is on that level with Jerry Rice?
I do, because the change of direction. Jerry had just an immediate, an abrupt ability to change direction, but it didn't feel abrupt to him. It looked abrupt to everybody else. Someone trying to cover him, but him, it was like nothing. And Jackson Smith-Njigba feels the same way. It's like he moves his body so much quicker than everybody else, and he makes people miss. And he doesn't go to the ground a lot. And that's Jerry too. It's just they're both kind of a ballet masters. Their body position always in a good spot, catching the ball, ready to move in a way that's kind of unusually abrupt, like I said, abrupt to everybody else, but to them, it seems smooth. It looks smooth. It's like, man, I like him. Do you think I like him?
We will get you out of here on this. Last night, you coached in the Pro Bowl. I watched you introduced. I assumed you coached the NFC, but you told me you coached the AFC. Anyway, it's a flag football game. You used to play in the actual Pro Bowl. How different was it to coach in this format?
Well, we played a real game. You were under duress. I had Bruce Smith coming at me, and my lineman had 30 minutes twice in 2 days to get ready to go play. And if you're going to go play a game with a team that's been together for 2 30-minute practices, defense is going to be winning. It gets done faster. And so in that way, I took the beatings in the Pro Bowl. I remember limping out of the Hula Stadium?
Aloha Stadium.
Aloha Stadium.
Yeah.
I remember limping out of there like, I've never taken a beating like this in my life. This would be after the Super Bowl. Those are the days when it was the week after. You go to Hawaii, you go to the Super Bowl, come home for the parade, and then head to Hawaii and go and play another game. And so it was pretty unsustainable, I think, through time, especially as owners now made $200 million investments in players. And, they're gonna, you don't want them to ski, you don't want them to mountain climb, you don't want them to climb Mount Everest, but you want them to go play in the Pro Bowl full speed with the guys that's coming after you. No, that's not going to work. But the flag stuff is real. Everybody needs to get ready for this. Flag football is exploding, and it's exploding all the way to the Olympics in 2028. Men and women are going to get gold medals. The USA is going to have a team. You hope there's some NFL players on it, and that's what I talked to the guys about yesterday. Hey, look, this is Pro Bowl flag, but you guys got to get ready to go get a gold medal. If I could have gotten a gold medal back in the day when the Dream Team was going with Michael Jordan and Magic, and they're going to go, they're going to get a gold medal, and football does it, and hockey does, and golf does, and baseball does. Like football now can get a gold medal. It was different yesterday. The guys were more in tune to the flag game. It was a joke, more of a joke before. I think it's becoming very serious about the flag stuff, and it's happening all over the world. It's amazing.
Yeah, what a gold medal wouldn't mean for every athlete. Golfers want the gold medal. Tennis players want the gold medal. They all want it.
I would take a year off of the NFL. I'm not telling them to do it. I would, if they force us, they go, I'm taking the year off. I don't care what you do to me. I don't care. I'm going for a gold. I want my gold medal. I would do it. I would give my left arm. Well, I don't know if I give my left arm. I mean, my right arm.
Right arm. You pass with your left arm. What are you, nuts? Thank you, Steve.
Steve,
as always, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let's take one last break. Still to come, the Jets make a hire they hope will finally fix their lousy offense.
And Kawhi is in Leonard. His name to the game that many thought he should have made already. That's flag football. We just learned a lot, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't know it was in the Olympics, but a gold medal for any